Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. It's for Saturday, September 10th. Another stakes-laden card at Kentucky Downs. 4 stakes races, headlined by the Grade 3 Kentucky Turf Cup. But we'll start in the 7th, which begins the Pick 4. Tom Leach here along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Mutuals and Simulcasting. Jim, it's the More Than Ready for 3-year-olds and up at a mile on that undulating turf course down at Kentucky Downs. And I read that Hootenanny and Thatcher Street for Wesley Ward, I think I saw this in a tweet from Marty McGee or somebody on Thursday, both are expected to scratch, so that'll really shrink this field down. Who did you land on?
Well, I liked Hootenanny to start.
Correction, not Thatcher Street. It's Ward's other one, but it's not Thatcher Street, but it is Hootenanny.
Yeah, Hootenanny scratches, that makes it a completely wide open race because I thought that Hootenanny's last race really set him up for this when he kind of a paid workout at Belterra, and Wesley likes to use that turf course up there to work his horses anyway. So, yeah, Thatcher Street is Ian Wilkes' horse, so Chiltern Street is Wesley's other horse.
Yes.
But yeah, that takes it down to, just a 6-horse field. And if you're talking about the Pick 4, I think that makes it pretty much an all for me because I think I can get a single here in the next couple of legs. Watch Your Own Bobber is probably going to be a favorite. He's in too good a form to ignore coming out of the West Virginia Speakers Cup on West Virginia Derby Day at Mountaineer. And that was a nice race with a 99 buyer. He's beaten a couple other horses in here, including Thatcher Street. And I would take him on top. He beat a next-out winner, Ployven. Ployven came back to win at Ellis Park on closing day on Monday pretty impressively. So that's a nice race that coming out of sometimes you take Mountaineer races with a grain of salt, but that is a nice race that Watch Your Own Bobber's coming out of. Second choice would probably be Sensational for Mott and Giroux. It's a shorter race at Saratoga, so hopefully they got enough stamina in him to make this mile race. It's stretching out. I don't know if stretch out at Kentucky Downs is a great idea, but the buyers certainly fit here. And Thatcher Street would probably be my third choice. Second in the old friends last year, Kentucky Downs, so he's proven on the course. So I think Ian Wilkes always gets them ready, it seems. So I would take those 3 on top, but with a 6-horse field, if both awards scratch out, I would probably go all in the Pick 4 or take a stand with Watch Your Own Bobber if you don't like anything later on.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on going all when it's down to 6 horses. Sensational's the one I ended up picking for just this race. I had him 2 back at Belmont. Nice win that day, and I was really impressed with just how he looked visually. Bet him back at Saratoga, and maybe the pace was a little hot. But 97 buyer in that July 9th race would be awfully tough here. And like the Troy Stakes race there at Saratoga, maybe, as I said, just kind of solid race, so it validated the previous effort, and maybe just the pace was a little too hot. Giroux taking the mount doesn't hurt, so Sensational's the win pick for me, and in the Pick 4, I would hit the all button here too. 8th race is the One Dreamer. They go a mile and 70 yards. Fillies and mares 3 and up. Didn't have a strong opinion here. Ended up going to Inside and Out for Delacour. I like that they get Jamie Graham. He really rides this course well. And this is a lightly raced 4-year-old, so I think there's still some upside left. But I would want to spread a little bit in this race. No Fault of Mine. I like Fleet Birdie, Entree Chat, number 2, and the 3 Annulment also. So 5, 6, 1, 3, and if you want to go deeper, add the 2. But the win pick for me is going to be Inside Out. How about you?
I went with No Fault of Mine, coming out of the Grade 1 Beverly D. He only got beat by C. Khaleesi by 4 lengths. Big rider improvement to Giroux. He's overdue at Kentucky Downs. He went 0-for-10 on opening Saturday, which was a shock to my pocketbook. So hopefully he gets his stuff straightened out this week at Kentucky Downs and get some better mounts. No Fault of Mine looks good to me in here. I think the race at Arlington, she got within 4.5 of C. Khaleesi at 48-1. So had a little trouble in a little traffic of the 14-horse field. So that's not a bad effort coming to Kentucky Downs off that. Entree Chat and Annulment, the 2 and 3 come out of Del Mar races, and they must be considered. You got Flavian Pratt on one and Alvarado on the other. Alvarado won a couple races on opening day at Kentucky Downs. The one I think has a chance at a price, you mentioned Fleet Birdie. Charlie LaPresti has this horse rather. He had a huge improvement first perf at Indiana in June, and I think at 12-1, I can't believe that that price is going to stand up. If it does, it's a nice price because the horse is very consistent. That might be a sleeper at 12-1. I would go 4 deep in here with a 1, 2, 3, 6 in the pick 4.
Yeah, you mentioned that No Fault of Mine coming out of that Beverly D. I believe, I remember correctly, Secret Someone came out of that Beverly D. and finished even further back and won at Kentucky Downs last weekend. Ninth race, the Grade 3 Kentucky.
And she is a filly, obviously. I've got my eyes are not working. I thought, Beverly D. This is the fillies race. Okay, one dreamer. That'd be fillies race.
Ninth race, the Grade 3 Kentucky Turf Cup. They'll go 1.5 miles, 3-year-olds and up. The Big Hoss, the big favorite here. Can you beat him?
If you can beat him, I think it might be with his entry mate. If you look at the green grass of, it's supposed to be Wyoming. I guess they ran out of letters. Green grass of Wyoming. I looked at that 3 times, and one of my friends here said, it's not Wyoming, it's something else. I guess they just couldn't fit it in there. But I think the Big Hoss is a deserving favorite. Got 9 victories in 2015, 16. I counted 7 different tracks. Won here last year in this race. Best Kentucky Downs jock. Hard to go against him right here. I think the Big Hoss is a deserving favorite and is a deserving single in a pick 4. But if you look at the other Michael Maker horse in here, Green Grass of Wyoming, is certainly fits. Coming out of the Arlington Million, got beat a length and a quarter by Monty Least at 47-1. So that's obviously a big drop in class, even though this is a $600,000 Grade 3. Coming out of the Arlington Million, he's got to have a shot. So a lot of times, people, good horse players take the other horse, the longer price, and certainly Green Grass of Wyoming is going to be a longer price than the Big Hoss. I think if you don't want a single, I think those 2 would get you through the pick 4. The only caveat I have is there is absolutely no early speed in here. So one of the other horses that is a long shot, if they try to take to the lead, they might get away on an easy lead because the Big Hoss probably doesn't want the lead and Green Grass of Wyoming doesn't want the lead. That's the only caveat I have, but I think they're the 2 classiest horses in the field. So I would stick with either singling or take those 2.
Yeah, I singled the Big Hoss here. I initially wrote down Green Grass of Wyoming and went back to the Big Hoss. So I pretty much just feel the same way you do. There's a horse down on the inside, Rum Tum Tugger, that thought was a little intriguing at a price. Jonathan Shepard has done well here over the years, and he's very good at marathon races. So take a look at that one, maybe to hit the board. The 2 Bullard's Alley also has gotten good this year in these marathon races, but I couldn't pick against the Big Hoss in here. 10th race is the Kentucky Downs Ladies Sprint. They'll go 6.5 furlongs, fillies and mares, 3 and up on this one. Who did you like?
This is the most wide open, I think. I only went all in the first leg because there's only 6 horses in there now, but I went 5 deep here. And I guess my favorite would be, because of Giroux and Cassie, is Mississippi Delta. 33% Giroux for Cassie over the last year. She exits a very good showing in a Grade 3, the Royal North at Woodbine against Lady Shipman, and Lady Shipman would be 1-9 in here. So she got within a couple of lengths of one of the best sprint fillies in the country. So I mean, Mississippi Delta is probably going to be the deserving favorite, but I certainly couldn't single her. I think Late Spring, the 7, they shipped to Del Mar and could surprise here. Vicky Oliver shipped out there and then brings her back to the East Coast after almost getting a minor stakes out there, the Daisy Cutter. Miss Double Doro, the 4, has been competitive on the West Coast. Rumble Doll, the 1, whose best would actually get it done here. Not the best form right now, but had a couple races at Saratoga with almost won a $62,000 claimer. But if she runs back to last year, she could get there. And the other horse that I put in there is because of LaRue and Stidham is Rapid Rhythm. So I would go 5 deep here with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Not a strong opinion, but Mississippi Delta would be my pick if you made me pick one.
I end up going to Rapid Rhythm, the 2. I like Le Perou's coming back off an injury, and I think he rides late runners on the turf exceptionally well. Stidham, who had a good opening weekend, 23%, second time off this kind of layoff. And I think if she can improve on that number last time, it's good enough to win here at a decent price maybe. Mississippi Delta is at the top of the list of others for me. Rumble Doll, the 1, Late Spring, the 7, Seeking Treasure, the 8. I like all of those, so I would use all 5 of those. Rapid Rhythm's going to be the win pick. I'll key her in exactas, but I'll use all 5 in the pick 4. So my pick 4 ticket, all by 5-6-1-3, by 7, by 1-2-3-7-8. How about you?
Well, mine is all with 1-2-3-6, with 7, with 1-2-3-4-7, or the other single that I looked at is in the 8th race, the 6 horse. So that's no fault of mine. So if you wanted to cover another horse in the Turf Cup, you could go with Greengrass, Wyoming, and go all with 6, with 7, 9, and then as many as you can afford in the last race. That's a little cheaper ticket because you only got 2 horses rather than 4 in your spread race. But you'd single the 6 in the second leg.
Yeah,
the big cost is probably the better bet. But I think if I singled there and covered Greengrass, Wyoming with all of the start and close to all in the last, that probably isn't a bad pick 4 ticket.
No, I agree. I think if you do single her, no fault of mine, that gives you a chance to try to beat the big hoss, and you got to figure he'll be the most heavily played horse in the 4-race sequence. So wouldn't be a bad strategy. Best for Derby down at Louisiana Downs on the Saturday card as well, and we're moving ever closer to the start of the fall meet at Keeneland. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach, and that is the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.